I want to share my number one mindset hack that is going to change your birth. Now, I call this technique backwards day. So it's not about walking backwards in labor, though I do highly recommend moving and walking in labor, just not backwards. It's not about wearing your clothes backwards like you might have done during backwards day, maybe in Spirit Week in your high school. This is actually a mental technique that, when used consistently, can seriously change your birth. Now, this is the same technique that I use with my doula clients, and it's the exact one that I teach in the Birth Toolbox online childbirth class. If you are looking for a flexible, practical, on-demand childbirth class, then check it out in the links below. Now, in this video, I am going to give you some really practical examples of using this backwards day technique so that you're going to know exactly how to use it when contractions start. But first, I really have to stress, one of the keys to getting this technique right is for the entire team to know the technique. So I'm going to remind you again at the end of the video, but please share this with anyone who is going to be supporting your birth, your partner, your doula, family members, etc. Or if you are the partner watching this, make sure that you share it with your partner. So this backwards day technique, it means that you're going to be reframing what's happening to you in labor. So something that is negative, we really want to reframe it so that it's positive. And many things happen on the day of labor that normally would seem bad. Let's start with one of my favorites, diarrhea. So diarrhea on a normal day is bad, but when labor is starting, it's usually a positive thing. Getting diarrhea or having loose stool, it means that your body is really usually starting labor. The next thing that makes sense is contractions. Contractions on a normal day may be negative, right? But when they become stronger, you think, oh no, these are hurting more. But actually, this is a great thing. It means that your body is making progress, that you are getting closer. So what we're doing with this technique is like putting a stop to the negative thinking that, as you know, I'm sure, tends to sometimes spiral emotions down and down and down. We want to try to limit these thoughts like, this hurts, this is painful, how much longer will this last? I can't do this. Now, if you do a lot of exercise, if you're a runner, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about here. When you fill your mind with more positive thoughts, you actually start to feel better. And you also just start to feel stronger. Okay, another example, when contractions start to come faster, so they're closer together. This can feel worse because you're like, the rest time is shorter, they're coming faster, but this is an excellent sign, backwards day. This means that you're getting closer. Faster contractions really mean you are getting closer to meeting your baby, and that's what we want. I was supporting this great couple of years ago who experienced a really true backwards day moment. Her labor was stalling. Contractions were not getting longer, stronger, closer together. And because of this, her cervix was not changing a bit. And she was beginning to feel like she was on this treadmill, doing all this work, not making any progress. And we started to become really intentional about getting her to change positions to try to get those contractions to change. So I was working with her partner and we were trying different things. We tried a few positions and then we tried where she was standing up and leaning forward. And she had this huge contraction. It was a lot more intense and it was a lot more longer too. And after it was over, she immediately turned around. She started walking back to her birth ball, which is where she was before. She said, that contraction was longer and stronger and I don't like it. And her partner and I, we just reminded her of backwards day. And even though we had already been talking about backwards day through her labor, sometimes labor has a way of clouding that rational mind. And she started laughing and she was like, oh, okay, backwards day. And she started using it as a mantra. She moved back to that standing position where she was forward leaning, where she got that big contraction. And sure enough, the next one came along and she whispered, backwards day. And then she started breathing, she started swaying, And when it was over, she said, backwards day again. And she took a sip of water, she had a little bit of rest, in came another contraction. And she just was repeating this process. Now, when her nurse came in, you guys, the nurse was like completely shocked because her nurse was trying to figure out what was our next course of action. How were we going to pick up this stalled labor? And we didn't have to worry about it anymore because her labor picked up. I see this happen all the time. When you change positions, sometimes that new position is more intense or feels differently. And you might be thinking, oh, this hurts more. I don't want to do this, but backwards day. That stronger intensity usually means our body's working more efficiently and usually making more progress on our cervix. So hit the like button if you can see what I mean here. Now, your mindset, it can make a huge difference on your birth experience. But there's a limit to the power of this technique. I do not believe that it's the only thing that we should use in labor. That's why I suggest using it just as a layer in our strategy. Imagine layering this mindset with physical comfort measures like getting into the shower, listening to our favorite playlist, having our partner provide counter pressure on our back. So let's just harness the power of all of these tools and make the most of all of these tools to help us through labor. So to make the most of our backwards day technique, don't forget everybody needs to be on the same page with the strategy. Support people need to be ready to use it. If you're the laboring person, you need to be ready to hear it and understand what it means. Discuss it in advance. That's how it's going to work. So a perfect strategy to use together with backwards day is intentional breathing. So to see a step-by-step explanation of Lamaze breathing, check out this video right here. I know you're gonna love that one. Make sure you look for the little animal that makes an appearance behind me in that video. Right now on the channel, I have hundreds of videos to help prepare for labor and birth. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that are coming out soon. I will see you guys next time. Bye.